So maybe about 2 hours ago, maybe, or I don't know, maybe a little earlier than that, when I came up here live, I mentioned how my face is gonna look all red tonight, maybe for a couple nights because of sunburn. As I said, well, I decided after I finished watching tonight's pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, that I was going to cool off a little by watching the 24 special on Becky Lynch. Good show. But trust me, I have not forgotten what WWE did tonight. The moment that I was starting to feel I actually was watching a pretty good show. And yes, I still gave this show a solid grade because I thought for the most of the show, I was enjoying it. It was something fun. The fact that I'm tired and I've been up since 6:30 this morning and I've been to Cleveland and back. I just want to stay away for this whole entire show. And I kind of wish if my stream was not acting up tonight, I would have been doing live reactions for the ladder matches, the Universal title match, which I did. Definitely that one. Should have been the main event. But instead, we gave it to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Which, based off of what the story is being told tonight, I thought we were going to have several opportunities for some people. And instead, WWE deliberately gave us exactly something we would never, ever want to happen. And yeah, there's a couple other things on the show that I didn't like. I'll rant about that. But that ending, Vince, you really think you want me to watch Super Showdown? I was not planning on it before I saw this pay-per-view. And even after this pay-per-view, I'm definitely even more don't want to watch Super Showdown now. Do I want to watch any of your other bullcrap right now? Honestly, I don't. I am WWE again for the third year, well, maybe 2 years in a row, because 3 years ago, they had a chance to actually, in 2017, they actually had a chance to really, build up Baron Corbin as a great Money in the Bank holder, and he just drops it simultaneously. He's nothing to Jinder Mahal, thanks to John Cena. But last year, they wasted it completely on Braun Strowman. Did nothing. And this year may have been worse. It may have been much worse. Last year, could have at least led to something for a superstar that was just way overdue. This year, it led to something completely pointless that Vince probably did just for his freaking goddamn ratings. Just for his ratings, just for stupid Fox, and I don't know. I will be fuming when we get to that main event. It was such a good match, and then just like that, boom! It's like we're standing right underneath a piano, and Vince is literally just took scissors, cut the string, and it fell right on top of us. I swear, I felt the same way I felt the night of the 2015 Royal Rumble. I should have posted a poll about that, but of course, we'll get to that rant later on. As this is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here live to talk to you about my live review of Money in the Bank 2019. It took place at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut tonight, May 19th, 2019. They'll mention that to Kane, of course, the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. But besides, of course, the end of that main event, there was still some stuff on this show I did enjoy. There was also some stuff I did not enjoy on this show. So it's not a mixed bag of results. And most of this was, whatever, was what it was. And then just that. I guess the biggest problem I had with this show was the finishes for some of these matches. It was just some really weird looking botches or just weird looking stuff that I'm not sure if it was planned properly or whatnot. But just some weird stuff definitely took place on this show that we, of course, shall talk about and get into and see, what happens with that. I see we have a big audience so far, so let's check in on the live chat and see what we've got here. We've got TN Couponer. Bayley is the first Grand Slam champion in the women's division. Yes, that is true. I did not know that until tonight, but thank you for mentioning that for sure. But yes, Bayley, with what she did tonight, it was the first ever women's Grand Slam champion. She's won both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, the NXT Championship, and the Women's Tag titles she has won. Yes, definitely. I completely agree, Tyler. He's done with WWE. Well, at least come back for my reviews. Solid show, but that ending left a sour taste in the mouth. What's up, Mark? The ending was completely stupid for sure. When Braun ever get his moment, I don't know. And yes, that made me vomit also, Jay as well. This is why WWE is going to lose to AEW because Vince is making stupid decisions. Does Vince even care at this point? Has he given up? Or is he literally trying to let this company die with him? Especially with what he did tonight. You know, a couple things I didn't like. It was one thing. But that ending was a complete slap in the face. Like I said, literally it's like, you know, a piano was dropped right on top of all of us. That's what it felt like when that ending happened. You could have done so many other possibilities. That's so many. We'll get to those shortly. We've got Jacques Jones. He can't believe that. Yeah, he would have a chance again for sure. FC Richards mad. So is Tyler. Why do you need to put him in Money in the Bank? I don't know. Bayley cashing in was definitely moment of the night for me as well. Well, moment of the night, not match of the night for me. Here, he already has a match with Seth in Super Showdown. Exactly. I knew that Brock would show sooner or later, but not knowing that he'll take what he did and go after the Universal title, unless he's going after another title, which we'll talk about that as well. He has a solid match with him at Super Showdown. I want Triple H charge for sure. Fans are pissed. I thought the Mystery Man was going to be. I did too. We'll get to that, of course, in a little bit. What I thought was going to happen, because the man I wanted to win, WWE, got my hopes up and made me feel like, you know, my original pick to win was going to win. That was Sami Zayn. I wanted Sami to win that. If not, then Andrade. Or I would have been fine with Drew McIntyre. I still don't feel Drew needs the briefcase to win the championship. But I would have rather had that happen than what we got. And a couple of other possibilities I thought based off of what was going on tonight. But anyways, what was the point of taking the title off of Brock if they're going to keep giving it back to him? Who the hell knows? And, of course, FC Richards thought it was going to be CM Punk. It would have been awesome. I would have been happy if Ricochet won. No worries. But, yeah, I mean, I would have been okay with Ricochet winning. I just don't think he needs it yet. I didn't think he was one of the favorites to win, but I would not have been mad. I would have not been mad with Ricochet winning for sure. But let's, of course, start talking about this show. I did not watch the pre-show, but apparently I thought first this was going to be a match for the SmackDown tag titles. Daniel Bryan and Rowan taking on the Usos from Raw. But instead it ended up being a non-title match and the Usos win. So you make your tag champions look weak by losing. And what's this do to the Usos? Are you going to give them another opportunity against them when once again they're not on SmackDown anymore? This wild card role just needs to go into the garbage because I hate it. But that was a pre-show match. I didn't watch. Can't talk about it. Don't like this. Don't like the results. So he kicked off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the people who were involved were Nikki Cross, who replaced Alexa Bliss, as Alexa Bliss was not medically cleared to compete. Which, honest to God, if Alexa Bliss is not going to be reliable to compete again, I'm sorry, but you know she just needs to be just a valet. Like, I'm sorry if she's not going to be relied on to be in the ring anytime soon. She needs to just be done. Like, if her concussion injuries are that bad, she needs to be done with her in-ring career and at least be like a valet or whatnot. But Nikki Cross replaced her, which I thought Nikki had a great show. And this was a great opportunity for Nikki Cross, and I thought she did great, especially with what she did at the beginning of this match. So Nikki Cross, Natalya, Naomi, who looked like a big bumblebee, Mandy Rose, which I love you, Mandy. We all know how hot I think Mandy Rose is, especially in her black attire. When she wears black, she is just smoking. But I hate to say this, but when she's wearing the red that she wore tonight, she reminded me of like a blonde Eva Marie and didn't really well, Eva Marie with the red hair wasn't too bad looking, but Mandy Rose in red, honestly, a little bit of a turnoff. But stick to your black lingerie that you wore when you met Jimmy Uso in the hotel room. Meet me at the hotel room. It's raining right now. But we also had Ember Moon, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Bayley. So this was a good match. I did like this. This is probably my second favorite women's Money in the Bank match. I felt last year's, despite the results not being completely what I wanted, I thought last year's was a little bit better. There was some good physical moments. Again, Bayley, I thought, took a couple pretty nasty bumps from like getting hit with the ladder sometimes, where it was being sandwiched in between, or I think one time someone pushed the ladder over and it hit Bayley on the top of the head or something. But one of my favorite spots was towards the beginning, and it's when Nikki Cross went on her rampage, getting two of the women get stuck in the apron, and she just goes nuts over them, and then she takes a ladder into the ring and just starts just walking around like it's nothing, just bumping people and bulldozing them down, which I thought was just fit her perfectly. She didn't really do too much after that, but I enjoyed that. Dana Brooke, though, randomly pushed the ladder, to land on top of someone's head. I thought that was weird. And she climbed up onto the ladder. She had plenty of time, honestly, to unhook that briefcase, but she just grabbed it and just started hanging there, waiting for people to come up at his way. So I thought that was a little bit a weird spot there. But of course, a pivotal point in this match was a spot whenever Carmella and Mandy were going at each other, and it looked like Mandy tried to kick away the ladder. Well, then looking at it again, it looks like Mandy Rose kicked Carmella's knee and it buckled in a weird looking way. And I kind of cringed when I saw that. And then Mandy tried to continue attacking Carmella, and she kept saying stop. And I didn't know if it was Carmella for real, telling here, let me just check my window because it's starting to rain here. Roy's second, guys. 1 second. Let me just check this. Yeah, I need to check this window a little bit further. Once again, weather around here either steaming hot or it rains. Anyways, but Carmella though looked like she was for real hurt because she kind of basically she had pushed Mandy away, and then she walks back, and I thought she was hurt for real, but then towards the end whenever Mandy and Sonya were starting to team up, I thought at first they were going to tease a breakup because last week it seemed that they were teasing a breakup with Sonya and Mandy, as they've done off and on. I gotta say, since Chamber or Survivor Series last year, they've off and on teased a breakup with Sonya and Mandy. Sonya though was trying to pick up Mandy, who had been knocked out, but then Carmella came back out and had some offense. She climbed the ladder, but then got knocked off the ladder, and then she basically got taken out. So then Sonya was trying to pick up Mandy on her shoulders and carry her to the top of the ladder until Bayley just came back up there, knocked them both off, and Bayley, my number one pick to win, wins the women's Money in the Bank contract. I thought they were going to go with Mandy, which would have been okay with Mandy winning it. Wouldn't have been, completely satisfied with it, but would have been fine with Mandy winning the briefcase. And but again, Bayley's the one I felt like she's picked up a ton of momentum so far this year. She's had some pretty good singles matches. Yes, again, her run with the tag titles was definitely way too brief. But of course, not done talking about Bayley because this was, of course, Bayley's night. But Bayley wins. That was a good match. Again, I thought Lashes was a little bit better because of the depth involved and whatnot, and a couple little botches here and there. But I still thought it was a fun opener for this pay-per-view. So that was the first match of the show. Backstage then we had Sami Zayn bothering Triple H while he's on the phone. Sami's with protection from Braun Strowman because Strowman, he always knows that Braun Strowman is after what he did to him on Raw this past week. But Triple H says that he has banned Strowman from the building. Yeah, after the following match, we see him just walking around backstage like he got past security like nothing, which made no sense and whatnot. But of course, we'll get into that shortly. We then had the United States Championship match with Samoa Joe taking on Rey Mysterio. Like WrestleMania, this was a short match. Maybe went on just a tad bit longer, but then Rey Mysterio pinned Joe just off of I got just like a basic little move that he just rolled up Joe like awkwardly, and Joe's shoulders were obviously off the mat. But then somehow Joe got busted open. So like a short match and Ray wins the US title. Okay, like I was hoping for not just Joe to retain, but let's put on like a good maybe 10-minute match or something like that. Just like give us like make it like how it was with John Cena and Brock Lesnar in 2014. Have Cena have a better match, but still come up short. I thought that was going to happen with here, but Rey Mysterio wins, then Dominic comes out, and then Joe comes back down as attacks Rey. So I guess we're having another match between these guys. I don't know why. These matches have been fine, but to me, they don't feel like there's some really big story going on. Like they haven't really done too much with Rey and Dominic and whatnot. Like I keep waiting for Joe to attack Dominic, but whatever. I guess we're getting one more match between these two because it's 50-50 booking. Who knows? So that was a little bit of a weird finish there. Then we got this steel cage match with The Miz and Shane McMahon. Wasn't bad. Preferred their WrestleMania match more than this. But this was still a solid match, I thought. Shane trying to run away from Miz, trying to escape, but Miz kept fighting back and getting him to stay in the ring. Shane got some offense in, but most of this was the Miz, just whooping the crap out of Shane McMahon. A pivotal point also in this match though was wherever the Miz had like Shane like right in the palm of his hands, and he basically was just like saying like this he literally just like slammed Shane in the back how many times that steel chair, and he set him up for the skull crushing finale to him on the chair. And hear him saying this one was for my father, one was for my mother, one was for this, one was for that, and he hits Shane with the skull crushing finale on the steel chair. 1, 2, Shane puts his foot on the rope. Now, in a steel cage match, I'm pretty sure there's just no disqualifications or whatnot. That foot on the ropes do not count. But the announcers acknowledged it, and the referee acknowledged it or whatnot too. So obviously, with Shane being an authority member, he obviously in some ways, kind of like, must have bribed this referee backstage. Okay. The match continues where, we're waiting for Miz to, have this big extreme moment that we think he's going to do. He kind of did one time when towards the end of the match when they're up high on the steel cage, and he was just slamming Shane's face into the steel, and then Shane kind of like flipped over and landed on his back on the mat, but that wasn't enough. He tried to escape again. This time though, Miz trying to set up for like a giant suplex. I'm like, oh boy, like, they're gonna have like the ring explode. Instead, all we get is Shane McMahon slips out of his shirt and falls to the floor. It was just like you're set for this big moment, and yeah, give Shane credit. It's probably good, heel heat for a typical heel victory, but having him, slip out of his shirt and to see his bare chest, like was the goal behind it just to see Shane McMahon shirtless for like the first time in God knows how long it's been since we've probably seen Shane shirtless and whatnot. So weird finish, but the thing I like about this is, Shane won by escape. And I keep asking for this. I really want these two to have one more match. Just for Miz to get his comeuppance. But one more match these two are destined to have. I've wanted to see this match again, if I said plenty of times past several weeks. Since the Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania, I've wanted to see Miz and Shane in an Extreme Rules match. Especially with rumors of possibilities of something happening tomorrow on Raw that people are discussing. Even though I'm not 100% for it because we have how many of them? Because speaking of which, that announcement was told that tomorrow night, Mick Foley will be returning. And he's going to announce WWE's newest title. Okay? Like, how many titles do we have to have? Like, with this whole wild card rule going on and the brand split slowly cracking and probably going to slowly end soon, why do we need more titles? Like, the only reason I would be all right with this, even though, again, it's once again why we have so many titles, is if he's bringing back the hardcore championship. So I don't know, maybe that's what Miz and Shane will have a feud for the hardcore championship, maybe, or something. Since this is kind of like Miz's new gimmicks. He's kind of like doing things like hardcore and just doing whatever he has to do to literally just beat the shit out of his opponents, basically. But still kind of random. But we'll see. So we got that, and then of course Braun Strowman was backstage. Well, and it seems he had gotten to Sami Zayn as he's they found Sami Zayn hanging upside down on a fence, like he was crucified upside down or something like that. But was it Braun Strowman who did that? Not 100% sure now after what happened, of course, later on in the show. Check the live chat real quick and see what we got here. Let's see here. Where were we at? Let me see here. I think we're here. I would have been happy if we said there. Tyler thought Money in the Bank is stupid. Again, the whole show was pretty good, except for that ending, I thought. Jacques, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. He wanted Drew for the most part, which went fine. What are your thoughts of a new WWE championship coming tomorrow? As I said, only what we kind of accepted is the hardcore title. Now, why are we having another title? Again, we don't need another title right now. We have how many of them the way it is. Yeah, I don't understand the wild card rule either. I completely hate it, and I don't know what was the point of the pre-show match either. Don't forget to slap the like button for sure. I thought Sonya was going to turn on Mandy. Same here. WWE gave Charlotte. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. I thought she was going to AA her. Me too. I thought so too. I watched a WWE YouTube video and I realized something, which is what is WWE going to do with Miz now? Again, as I said, the Extreme Rules match. But after that, then what? Unless they're bringing out the hardcore title and he's like the hardcore champion or something. Who knows? I think there's been no successful men's cash-ins since Ambrose. That is definitely true. That's exactly true. How did Joe get busted open? I still have no idea. Referee screw job. Yep. Your thoughts on the new WWE Championship that's coming tomorrow? As I said, I just want to be hardcore title. I don't care at all. Yep. There goes the trains. There's referee. These referees are Nick Patrick tonight. I need an answer. Why did Kofi take off his shoes? I have no idea what you're talking about there, but no worries. We got Kyle, Sarah, do you like Bailey's cash in? Yes, I did. Watch it be the wild card championship. Ooh, no way. No way. It's not going to happen. What's up, Robbie? He says, Mike, WWE blew a great opportunity to set up Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar by having Drew knock Brock off the ladder and smash him with a Claymore kick. Would have been absolutely glorious. I mean, were they kind of teasing a little bit of a face turn recently with, Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin kind of turning on each other, basically? Could have worked. Could have definitely worked. Drew should have won Money in the Bank. WWE needs Robbie for sure. I can't hear. You can't hear me well. I apologize. Okay, guys. Elite Squad, what's up? Pros about Money in the Bank. Bayley becomes Money in the Bank winner and Women's Championship champion AJ and Rollins. Both Money in the Bank matches except the horrible finish, the men's for sure. It's fixed. Okay, thank you, FC Richard. Okay, thank you for the live chat so far. We keep it rolling here. So then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match. Tony Nese taking on Arya Daivari. Look here. I like Tony Nese. I have liked the work that Arya Daivari has been doing since coming back from injury. It's obvious that, we're in a new era now with the Cruiserweight division. 3 of the biggest stars have moved on to, other brands. Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy on SmackDown. Cedric Alexander is on Raw. And Tony Nese is great, but he's not on the level that Murphy, Alexander, and Ali were. He's definitely not as big of a star as them. Do I like him? For sure. And I've been impressed with Daivari work. And I'm glad the Cruiserweights got an opportunity on the main show. I really am glad. Nobody, though, cared about this match. So the crowd was absolutely silent. They didn't need to have that tag match with Bryan and Rowan and the Usos on the pre-show. They could have, like, if there was a Cruiserweight match and needed to be on the pre-show, it's this one. Because obviously this is a match that, Arya Daivari is not ready yet to be Cruiserweight champion. But it was a good person who had been on a hot streak recently that Tony Nese can put over Tony Nese can defeat in his first pay-per-view title defense since he won it. It's the second title defense. He did have a rematch with Buddy Murphy on the 205 Live after WrestleMania. But, we gave these guys opportunity, but yet maybe except for one or two times, Cedric Alexander, Buddy Murphy, and Mustafa Ali barely ever made the main card, whether they're champions or not. But we could have given Tony Nese and Arya Daivari a shot. It was just an average match again. I just thought that nobody just really cared about. I thought Daivari was going to win because he did his finisher, the Hammerlock Lariat, on Tony Nese, but Nese kicked out and eventually hit the right Nese from the win. There were some physical spots, but again, it's just one of those matches that absolutely nobody cared about at all whatsoever. But that's, of course, the results from that. Then we have a backstage segment with Triple H telling Strowman that he isn't putting him in the ladder match after what he did to Sami Zayn. But Strowman's like, I know what you're talking about. Then he asked him to leave, even though, once again, wasn't he already banned from the building and they did nothing to, stop him from coming in? I don't know. Again, just around the circles for Braun Strowman, as usual. All right, let's get to one of my mini rants. Next up were both of the women's title matches. Becky Two Belts was defending her championships. The Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. Miss Da, I got my blonde hair. I got my blue eyes. I got my big tits, Vince Love. I'll give her credit. Not a bad performance tonight, I felt. She obviously, does have some potential with how she plays her character. It's just why is she already getting a title opportunity? That was my thing. And what her appearance is like, that's what bothered me. But and even though I wasn't, think she was main roster ready, I'll say Lacey Evans didn't do too bad tonight. But of course, as the thing that bothered me about the match with Becky and Lacey was the fact that towards the end of the match, Lacey rolled up Becky. Becky clearly had her shoulders pinned. The referee was not counting. And then Becky really reversed it into the disarmer to get her to tap out. And it looked like Becky was done. Because there was a point also towards the end of the match where Lacey did like a chop block to the back of Becky's knee. And then Charlotte came out acting all happy, like, oh, yeah, you won, but get back in the ring. We're going to do our match now. And then they had their match. And it was not a bad match at all. Again, even though we've seen the match how many times, I'd say maybe except for one or two of their matches, I've only one or two of their matches I didn't enjoy. This one, I thought the match was good. Obviously, this is the end of the rivalry, which it better be. We don't need to see this match, as someone said, until 2022. And it looks like, of course, now that they're going to be on separate brands because Becky has the Raw Women's Championship still and Charlotte's on SmackDown. But what bothered me, of course, is someone's called this finish. And yes, it was somewhat to protect Becky Lynch, but Lacey Evans came out, did a women's right when the referee wasn't looking. Charlotte would then, hit a big boot on Becky, which obviously completely missed Becky. And that's how Charlotte wins her 9th women's championship. I would have been ticked off if Lacey Evans would have won the belt way too soon. But it's obvious they're continuing this feud with Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch on Raw. But having Becky lose to Charlotte, first off, my thing was I thought Becky needed to have one night where she retained both belts to kind of cement that, whole point of her being Becky Two Belts, that badass persona in her. and she drops one of them to a woman she's beaten how many times over the past year or so? And she gets yet another opportunity, and why? Like, to me, like, Charlotte winning this match looked like it was her getting the last slap and like pushing everything back in Becky's face. Like, yeah, you may have won these little battles here and there, but you lost the war because guess how this is ending? With me as champion. Afterwards, Becky Lynch snaps and attacks Lacey Evans, and then Lacey and Charlotte double team up until Bayley came running out with her women's Money in the Bank briefcase and went after them 2-on-1, even though Charlotte got Bayley down. And then, she tried to attack Becky a little more before Becky rolled out of the ring. And then Charlotte was about to leave, taking her championship, but then she changed her mind and tried to attack Bayley more. But Bayley got out of the way, and Charlotte went face first into the second turnbuckle. Bayley picked up the briefcase, and the way she picked it up and looked at it just made me think of 2 years ago when Bayley grabbed that kendo stick and she gave it that same look. She showed she had no guts, but she's been showing some more guts this year. She cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, set up Charlotte for that flying elbow drop, like similar to what the Macho Man used to always do. And Bayley is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. And yeah, it washed away the bad taste. Bayley was, for the most part, my hero tonight for sure. Would have been nice if it was against someone else rather than Charlotte, because it meant Charlotte was getting the last laugh in the feud with Becky, which once again made no sense. Becky beat Charlotte how many times? But it was obvious that they had some serious plans for Bayley, as she had been booked better even before they won the tag titles. This whole year, I felt like Bayley's character has gotten better, and they kind of resurrected her in some ways. Yes, I wonder if there is an eventual heel turn down the line plan for her, but hey, she's gotten interesting again. She kind of got out of her rut again. 2 years ago, again, Bayley had no guts at all to hit someone with a kendo stick. Now she's going out there, putting it all on the line, showing that she wants those opportunities and taking it when she can get them. And she took one tonight when she took out Charlotte Flair and won the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is awesome. Now, of course, for Becky Lynch, I'm concerned. It's obvious this feud with her and Lacey Evans is continuing. And at some point this summer, she's dropping the Raw Women's Championship to Lacey Evans. So once again, Becky may have had the WrestleMania moment, but it's like her already losing one of the belts in her first night of her, being Becky 2 belts, even though once again, they protected her a little by having Lacey Evans, help Charlotte in some ways win. They still could have at least given her one night where she successfully defends both her titles. I honestly was hoping for. We're not going to get that, unfortunately. But we had that. Backstage, we see Elias then hit Roman Reigns' this guitar. Elias goes out to the ring to play a few bars with electric guitar. Roman came out. He attacked Elias. The match started. This was a Superman punch and a spear, and Roman won. I was hoping for at least a good 5-minute match, because again, as I said, these two did have a good match back in what was it called? Back at the end of 2017, when Roman Reigns was the Intercontinental Champion. These two had a pretty solid IC title match. I was hoping maybe something like that. We all knew Roman was going to win, unless they're going to pull a curveball on us and having Shane help Elias win. Because again, I heard that rumor of a possible match at Extreme Rules with Roman Reigns taking on a team of Elias and Shane. Dear Lord. But of course, now I'm worried about what maybe be soon for Roman Reigns, and it terrifies me. But we'll get to that, of course, at the end. That match happened. Check the live chat before we talk about the final 3 matches. Let me see here. Where were we at? Let me see here. We got a little Fettuccine 69 power rank top 5 superstars after tonight. Well, obviously Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Kofi, Bailey, Brock, Seth, Kofi, Bailey. Who is someone else? Give it to Andrade because I thought he had a really great performance in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That's a good question there. Jacob Sheridan says hi. Richard's favorite match was AJ and Seth. Mine too. Vince needs to leave and do his XFL for sure. I agree. Robbie says, you know what we need to cheer us up after that god-awful finish? Some creamy, crunchy, soft bake Aaliyah ice cream flavor. Because Aaliyah looked probably one of the hottest she has looked ever this past week on NXT. Oh, man, that black hair and that black attire just fits so perfectly. Anyways, but yes, Vince doesn't really care. 205 Live is today's ECW. Was getting better, but, yeah. My man was 5 out of 10. Target 4 out of 10. Hashtag rant Mike rant. We're just going to be right back. Why can't Brock leave after Mania? We thought that the past 2 years, but he ain't going anywhere. He's like a dog. He always comes barking whenever Vince calls. Did you notice that Lacey shot out her own custom money from a money gun during her own entrance? Forgot to mention that. Yes, she did shoot out money out of a money gun, and of course it had her face on it and whatnot. Did Lacey make it rain? I guess so. Charlotte finally beat Becky. Yep, some of us called it. Richard's back. He's going back. He's leaving again. Charlotte and Lacey are future tag champions. Oh gosh. They got their blonde hair. They got their blue eyes. They got their big tits, Vince loves. Oh boy. Although a match between the two of them wouldn't be too bad. Yes, Bailey in the bank, though. He should have let Elias beat Roman. Yeah, right. That was going to happen. I'm afraid WWE is going back to overbook Roman now that he's on SmackDown and he's on both shows. And of course, I'm afraid of something else because of what else I think might be happening based off of what happened at the end of the show, but we'll talk about that. AJ should have been the 8th guy in the main event. Would have been very interesting to have a show like that. Would have much rather have had that, but of course, I'll get to. I was hoping then the 8th man would have been after, of course, what all happened tonight. My tradition of Lacey's theme is clearly becoming better than Lacey's actual theme. There, I got my blonde hair. I got my blue eyes. I got my big tits Vince loves. Yeah, sure he loves them. By the way, also, of course, once again, the shout, but just honor, again, my thoughts and prayers again to Ashley Mazzaro's family as well. There was, they did show a graphic for before Money in the Bank. And once again, Ashley Mazzaro passed away at the age of 39 on Thursday night, I believe it was. So I just want to get that out there as well. We then had, next was the match I did live reactions for. Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, taking on the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Again, this is my number one dream match. Well, after Nakamura and AJ, of course, finally had their series of matches last year, even though they didn't quite live up to expectations, but that was my number one dream match for a while. But my latest number one dream match happened tonight, and I wasn't disappointed. It left me wanting a rematch, but I was completely happy with what we got. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins have been a match I wanted to see since I saw the WWE 24 special on Seth Rollins when he was coming back from his knee injury. They showed those highlights from that match back in 2006, I believe it was. Styles and Rollins had a match where Rollins is like 19 years old and AJ put him over afterwards, just said that he's a great talent and whatnot. And I want to see that match ever since. And this match I thought was great. Started off with some good back and forth, slow start, but then, it slowly picked up. Of course, later on in the match, a couple suicide dives that Rollins took. That I think, AJ hit his face weirdly off of the announce table. Rollins hit his hip into the announce table, whatnot, a few times as well. There was that spot also there where I think he did like a suplex into. He was going for the Falcon Arrow, but then instead he did an inverted DDT. Of course, my favorite spot of this match. Again, what may be better, the RKO following a curb stomp, or Rollins went for the curb stomp, AJ lifted his head and countered it. I think Rollins going for like a Hurricane or something like that. Instead, AJ caught Seth and hit him with the Styles Clash. That was sick. That was a very sick looking, counter right there. Of course, he had Rollins in the calf crusher for a time being, but then eventually Rollins did get AJ with a couple super kicks, hit him with the curb stomp, and Rollins retains the championship. Of course, AJ's walking away. He's coming back. With how he's been acting for a few weeks, he thought maybe he was going to turn heel. Because I was considering it, thinking it may happen. Gets back in the ring. Rollins holds up the title. AJ sends out his hand, and they both shake hands out of sign of respect. And AJ walks away. So I don't know what's next for AJ. Her rumors maybe him feud with McIntyre. Could put on a good series of matches for sure. Maybe at WWE stomping crowds. Dear Lord. But so of course we have that feud probably coming up, and again it was, it's what I at least wanted to see out of them. But I want to see a rematch. This match was phenomenal, but I think it can be even more phenomenal. Have those two go at WrestleMania 36, where the title is on either one of them or not. Have them two go at WrestleMania 36. I think it would be even more better, even more phenomenal than this match was. Of course, this should have been the main event, but it wasn't, unfortunately. Oh, goodness. So first, we had Charlie Caruso interviewing Kofi Kingston. But afterwards, the Lucha House Party was coming out for an impromptu 6-man tag match. What? It was just for Lars Sullivan to come in and just, squash all three of them. All right, whatever. Don't know why they're going to have this match. Anyways, it wasn't even advertised anything for Lucha House Party. Doing some lucha things. It's lucha time! But then we had the WWE Championship match. Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens. I thought it was a pretty good match. There was a lot of energy in it, of course, as well. Again, Kevin Owens, just back talking the crowd, just, again, sometimes actually hearing people in the ring, like Jericho, with like a beast of this as a heel. Hearing him in the ring, because whenever he's yelling at Punk that, "Hit me in the head, Punk! Hit me in the head, Punk! Your father's a drug Punk!" Or like several other heels who start yelling at you or the crowd while he's in the ring, add a lot more effect into this match. The energy into it, the brutality. The spot, my favorite spot of this match, honestly, was when Kofi Kingston did that double knee stomp on Kevin Owens on the apron. Oh, that was a sick ass spot, and it was pretty, probably hurt a lot as well. There was a spot also, of course, where Kofi kicked out of the all-out version of the pop-up powerbomb, but kind of in place, Owens did a pop-up powerbomb on Kofi, and of course also he hit the stunner on Kofi, who sold it pretty good. Of course, Kofi, had to grab the ropes to break free from that. He hit one Trouble in Paradise on Owens, but Owens wisely rolled out of the ring. But eventually he was able to hit the second Trouble in Paradise, and Kofi retains, which, I'm fine with. There could have been a chance Owens could have won the championship, but I'm fine Kofi retained because, he's retained the title 3 times now, making him, feel like a legitimate champion. Because I really thought they were going to just give him the title in his first title defense. Boom, he was going to drop it. He could be dropping it, though, really soon, though. And we'll get into that right now. Main event. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Randy Orton, Finn Balor, Andrade Cien Almas, and Mustafa Ali. There was supposed to be 8 people in this match, but Sami Zayn got taken to the local medical facility for being hung upside down on a fence. And this match was going pretty good. Some brutal spots. Of course, everybody's favorite spot they're talking about was when Andrade did that sunset flip on Finn Balor into the ladder. And it looked like, again, Finn Balor just bounced so high off that ladder. But honestly, I felt Andrade's crotch took the worst of it than Finn did. I felt like, Andrade's land kind of knocked down the ladder a little more before that spot there. But even having a guy like, Mustafa Ali in this match, just a couple nasty bumps as well. Again, When I listened to a podcast with Jericho talking to Ali a couple months ago, he mentioned how Vince said something to him about one thing he knows about him. He's very good at drawing empathy and taking some of the nastiest bugs. People wondering, how the heck do you survive from this? Which made sense because he was the one who almost won the briefcase. Of course, Ricochet took a couple of nasty bumps in there as well. Orton hit an RKO on McIntyre mid-air. I thought was pretty sick. Corbin slammed Ricochet in there. He also turned on McIntyre, as we expected. Of course, McIntyre got his compass, taking out Corbin with the Claymore kick. But then, again, here's where, again, of this part, this match was pretty good. It was better than last year's men's Money in the Bank ladder. Last year's men's Money in the Bank ladder match was just the men just teaming up on Braun Strowman. Just take him out. And they all just failed because Braun won. But this time, Ali is climbing up the ladder. And I'm like, okay, there's supposed to be an eighth person. Obviously, somebody's coming out. I thought that could have either been Sami Zayn still making his return back. Braun could have came out probably, and I probably wouldn't have liked it, but it would have been like much better than we got. I thought maybe Lars Sullivan would come out because, he could probably win and it would benefit him. Someone said Aleister Black. But the one I was hoping would have came out was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt coming out to replace Sami Zayn in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Him having the briefcase, having it at the Firefly Funhouse. Again, it's like, playing the mind games with this briefcase would have just, increased his character even more interesting than what it drew to me last week. Instead, whose music hits? The Beast incarnate. Brock Lesnar comes out, gets Ali off the ladder, climbs up the ladder. Keep in mind, no one ever came out and said that Brock is officially in this match. He unhooks the briefcase. Well, first, he crawled up. He starts laughing at everybody. He takes a briefcase, and the bell rang. Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank. One more time. Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank. The man who we thought was going to be leaving after WrestleMania 34 did not happen. Thought was going to leave after WrestleMania 35. Did not happen. He's still here. And of all things for WWE to give him to do, he is now holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Who in God's name thought this was a good idea? Who? What's it going to do for anybody? Even if Brock puts somebody over, it's going to be a waste of the briefcase. Again, last year you put on Braun Strowman just to use him as bait for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. You turned him heel and completely messed him up. He failed his cash-in. Baron Corbin was doing all right 2 years ago until he failed his cash-in and got all of his men cut off and then went down the tubes. So you have the opportunity. Sami Zayn could have benefited big time from this briefcase. Andrade would have been perfect for it. McIntyre, okay, still don't think he needs it, but okay, whatever. Everybody else, Corbin, no. And Orton, I didn't think needed it either. If they gave it to Balor, Ali, or, Ricochet, didn't think they needed it, but, whatever, it's okay. Bray Wyatt, Lars Sullivan, Aleister Black. Of all people, you give it to Brock freaking Lesnar. And they're making it obvious that he's going after Seth Rollins. Well, obviously, he wanted to get his comeuppance on Rollins for Rollins, giving him the low blow at WrestleMania. But he's going to just cash in and get a title. What's Brock taking a title back going to do? Or, obviously, SmackDown apparently really wants Brock because they're going to Fox. What if he cashes in on Kofi and takes a title? What's it going to lead to? Oh, that's going to lead to Roman Reigns getting the title back by having him dethrone Brock Lesnar. I do not want to see that dang match anymore. You beat it to death last year. It was a feud that I claimed put WWE on lockdown the entire year until Vince got his glorious moment of having Roman Reigns slay the beast. In a match, it wasn't even that convincing that Roman Reigns could have beaten Brock Lesnar. It was not that convincing. I'm sorry. It was short, which fine, but it was not that convincing that Roman beat Brock. Seth at least low blowed Brock, gave him 3 curb stomps. Roman gave him like what, 1 spear and like 5 Superman punches? Who the heck knows? So WWE chose to waste their money in the briefcase once again. Whether Brock wins a cash in or fails cash is going to mean absolutely nothing. As I keep saying, if you want to keep Brock around, fine. Just keep him out of the stinking title picture. Why does this part-timer who only defended his belt 10 or 11 times, however many times it was, during his 500-some-day title reign, why do you keep putting the belt on him and making everybody else feel like they're nobodies? You went out of this way to make this guy the most hated man on your roster just to put over Roman Reigns. So now you're giving him the Money in the Bank contract. He's going to probably cash in. If this is just a storyline they're setting up for the rumor rematch of Super Showdown of Rollins and Lesnar, Vince is absolutely stupid. There is, like, why do you need to waste a briefcase on that? Use it long term to build someone like Sami Zayn or Andrade or even Bray Wyatt up. Instead, you're just wasting it on some guy who doesn't freaking ever need it. Like, so many people were so upset. Like, I have a friend messaging me right now. She's saying that she's done. Completely done. And I wouldn't blame anybody else if they were. Like, I would have gotten, a little more anime in this rant, but unfortunately I hear my parents trying to sleep. I don't want to be too loud and try to, wake them up. But WWE literally had things going really well at this show. And they literally just pulled the rug out from underneath our feet and just gave us just a bunch of garbage at the end. With Brock Lesnar being Mr. Money in the Bank. What the hell were they thinking? Did they think the fans would like that? Did they think that was going to give good heat? No, it gave more white heat on Brock Lesnar. So, just why? I don't know. But I'm not happy about it. I'm sure nobody else is. In fact, let's look at the polls on Twitter here really quick. So I have 2 polls here. First is, what grade would you give Money in the Bank? We got 16 votes on that. 13% said A, 31% said B, 13% said C, 43% said D or lower. And tag Vince McMahon in this. Are you happy they gave, of all people, Brock Lesnar the Money in the Bank briefcase? 7 votes, all of them say no. And I say no. And I give this pay-per-view a B-. This could have been like a B+ maybe. But that ending just completely killed it. WWE is wasting their Money in the Bank briefcase once again, and they're giving it again to Brock Lesnar. Why? Makes absolutely no sense. This is probably just to have Brock eventually. I mean, they keep making sense that Brock's going to cash in on Seth. No, he's probably going to cash in on Kofi, go to SmackDown, and Roman Reigns will dethrone him. And we'll get yet another. There's another, series of hell with them, because WWE is just going to go out of their way to make this much more complicated and just, just makes me sick talking about it again. I'm not even going to say anymore. Shut the live chat. I'm getting out of here because I'm getting tired. Let's see here. What do we got here? Robbie likes the theme. Rest in peace, Ashley. Yes, I thought Kevin won the title tonight. I thought Ricky was going to do Kofi as well, but he didn't. Kofi retained. Hope AJ gets rematched with Rollins and Finn Balor in the future after how awesome the previous matches were for sure. AJ and McIntyre can be good. I agree. A triple threat with AJ, McIntyre, and Rollins, I think, would be pretty good also, as TNT Partners kind of suggested. Or Styles, Balor, and Rollins. That'd work as well. Tyler was not a fan of the WWE title match. It's fine. WWE can make great use of the wildcard rule tomorrow night if all 4 SmackDown stars in the Money in the Bank match go to Raw to help Corbin, McIntyre, Ricochet beat the shit out of Brock Lesnar for winning Money in the Bank. Oh my goodness, that'd be absolutely glorious, but that's too good of an idea, Robbie. Remember, only Vince's ideas get through. But that's a genius idea because you're a genius, Robbie, and that's why we like you. Elite Squad liked the super kick reversal when Kofi went from the top rope on the outside of the ring. That was a good spot too. This was worse than Shane winning the World Cup at Crown Jewel. Oh yeah, for sure. Again, I don't know what's worse: Brock winning Money in the Bank or Roman winning a 2015 Royal Rumble match. I don't know which one was worse. Shikamaru over Bray Wyatt. Ali got screwed for sure. Yep, Brock is Money in the Bank, Jalen. Hashtag YWY for sure. I wish Ali won. He was so close. Oh, for sure. They had the perfect person getting that so close moment. But again, of all people, they had to give it to Brock. Once again, what happened to building new stars? Nope, they don't care. They do not care. And I'm not looking forward to seeing what they do next with Brock in the briefcase. But guys, with that being said, I'm tired. I've had a long day. I'm going to get ready to go to bed. What are your thoughts on Money in the Bank? Gave it a B-. Your thoughts on the comment section below. Stop liking my videos, subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Mayor3. And also check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary as well. Description box down below. See how Raw and SmackDown are this week. We have brief reviews. Will be long, worth talking about shows. Don't see it happening anytime soon because we have Super Showdown in 2 weeks and then Stomping Grounds in a month. I don't care about either of those shows. I'll do card races for Stomping Grounds, but not doing anything for Super Showdown. Nope, not happening. Hey guys, thanks for joining me live. But again, I've had a long day. I'm tired. I'm burnt. I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for Raw. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you all later. Peace out, everybody.